So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Claude Code 100% free and locally installed on your machine so you don't send your data to any cloud providers. We can set it up within 2 minutes and get you going. So the first thing you need to do is to go to this website called ollama.com and download their software. And once you install the software, you can basically launch any AI coding assistant or agentic AI software that you have been using so far. So it has Claude Code, it has ChatGPT, even the Hermes agent, OpenClaw, Codex, Copilot CLI, etc. And all of these run locally on your machine using open source models. So it's 100% secure and private. So once you install the software, basically you need to copy this command, use Mac, but the same things can be also done on Windows, etc. You will go to the terminal, and inside the terminal, I have basically a folder that I want to use, and basically just copy this command and install it locally. Let's click launch. So after you click the launch, it's going to ask you to install it first. For me, I've installed it already, but it then asks me which model do I want to use. And if you see here, let me make this bigger. It recommends this GLM 5.2 cloud model, which is for coding agentic engineering with 1 million contexts, the Minimax M3 cloud model, or the Gamma 26B for agentic workflows. So you can click here then on the models that you want to use. Some of them, if it says on the cloud, that means you're using the Ollama cloud, so you're not being safe and secure. So for our application, we want to use a small model, which is here the 4 billion parameter Qwen 3.5. And here is the interesting part. This really depends on your local machine. If we open my Mac options from here, you can see that I have a machine with about 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I cannot run really big models like a 9 billion parameters. So I need to choose a smaller one. And even with the smaller model, if you run it locally on your CPU, I'm going to show you what kind of problems you might have. So ideally, these models work really well if you have some sort of a GPU, like an NVIDIA GPU that you usually use for running games, for example, if you're using an actual PC. For me, I'm using here basically a laptop, a Mac, and I'm going to show you how, although the idea of running an open source model and everything private sounds really, really enticing, because then I can also save the cost on sending to Claude Code, etc. It just takes for ages, and my laptop, I can see that it's just like dying. So for these, they work pretty well if you have some sort of a GPU, just to keep that in mind. So this might look familiar for you because this is exactly the Claude Code. However, now it is operating using a local LLM model. You can also see that the skills that I have already on Claude Code that I use for the paid subscription are also translated here. So it has access to these ones as well. For example, the skill that I made a video about where I clean up a YouTube video and automatically edit everything in the video, is already here. And I can basically run it now absolutely for free using a local model, which is really, really interesting. Let's do something not so heavy. Let's have a look at the status, for example. Here it shows you the version, the session ID, what model you're using, which is this smaller model. It also shows you the MCP servers. Let's have a look at the MCPs to see what MCPs are we also configuring. And you can see it's exactly the same ones as the usual Claude Code. So that's actually really cool. So I have here the Tela, which has about 100 tools. Tela is this editing software that I use. You can see also Google Cloud. It failed because I need to re-authenticate, which happens maybe once a while, etc. So that's really cool. Now to the not so fun part. Let's see what's going to happen. Maybe the whole video editing might crash. Just say, hi, how are you? Something stupid. And not even using a strong model, right? So this is also one of the smallest models. I don't know if you can see. Okay, my laptop is still not dying, but I can see the mouse is moving slower. I don't know, maybe this is going to affect the video. I'm going to have a look. So let's see how much we need to wait until it just say anything. So as you see here, the model was really struggling, and at some point it just stopped. And I just asked it, hi, how are you? So you really need to be careful about the model you're using, especially if you don't have GPUs. And one way to figure out what models that you can use efficiently on your machine is going to Ollama website as well. Click on the models, and then you can shop here and find out a model that is kind of good, lightweight, but still useful to use in everyday work. Now, I found using coding in general, if you are on your local Mac machine, things get really hard, especially when the context gets large. Your machine is going to really slow down and the experience is going to be really bad. But if you're using it for everyday tasks, for example, emails, etc., customer communication that you don't want to send to a data provider, then you can find here some of the models that could be a good fit. So for example, let's say we want to use the Quinn model, but we want to use a much smaller one, like this one, 0.8 billion, or there is one here with 0.6 billion, etc. And what you do is you click on it, try to find the exact tag, and this is how you now want to install. And basically the way to install the model, specific model that you want to work with, is you to run Ollama run and then the model point and then the specific tag, which is like 0.6 billion. And it install it on your machine locally, and then you'll be able to start using it inside Claude. And as you see here, if I say hi, it's super, super fast. Let's say, how are you? It's almost instant. But this is like, I wouldn't say this is a very smart model, but it can help maybe with everyday automations, some classification, for example, check whether this email is a business request or something like that. Now let's see how we can now use this inside Claude Code. So I connected it now to Claude Code by doing model, and then you add the specific model, and it basically is, you can access it directly. And now I'm seeing some really weird behavior. So as you saw, if you use it directly from the terminal, like if you say hi, it goes really quick. I mean, now I'm using it multiple times, so it's maybe going to be a little bit slower, but it usually answers quite fast. But if you use it from Claude Code, because it's a harness, so it has a lot of thinking involved, a lot of tools involved, etc. If you use a weaker model, look at this, like it's thinking for 22 seconds, calling Tela. So I don't even know what it's doing. So this is making me scared that now it's calling some tools that it shouldn't. Let's see what it has done. So I need to first look at provided functions. There are several functions. Oh my God, I don't know why it's doing this. So I'm gonna stop it, guys. I updated transcript. So for some reason, I just said hi, and it started accessing my videos, which are connected on MCP on Tela, which is the video editing platform. I hope it didn't mess up the videos right now, but it seems like it did. The user is testing if I can recognize and structure the function properly, which I didn't do. So this is a fine example of AI gone wrong. And I'm not going to edit this. I really want you to see, because the whole point here is to produce transparent content to show you like what you're going to do if you want to go open source and use smaller models. You're going to deal with this shit. So if it's connected to MCP, I'm going to go now check if it's not deleting some of my videos. It looks like it might have. So yeah, that thing backfired. I didn't expect it to do this today. But that's the thing. If you want to use local AI, this is how you can do it. And the lesson from today's video is that make sure to turn off all the MCP servers, because this AI is a little bit nuts. So think of it as the brain. The smaller parameter you go with, more of an idiot the AI becomes, and it starts doing really dangerous things. For example, here, it seems like it corrected a word already that I didn't even say anything. I just said hi, right? So moral of the story, if you want to use AI locally, make sure to have a GPU and make sure to have a strong model. Some of the top models you want to use should be around the 32 billion parameters, especially if you want to use it for coding. Qwen works quite well. I've been hearing also some good feedback about the DeepSeek models, that they are cheap and fast. And if you install them locally, it's no issue. There's no problem. The only problem is, as you saw, like they can be a pain in the butt and start doing stuff that is not so good. You can do the same thing for the Hermes agent, which is a very popular agent coming up. You can install it locally, privately, or you can install it on somewhere on the cloud. I wouldn't install it on my machine, to be honest, especially if I see like how the AI is going nuts. But I would install it somewhere on like a machine, for example. So I hope this was a fun, unexpected lesson of how open source AI can do harmful things that we did not expect. Let me know your experience of using open source. Has it been useful, or has it been causing more drama? I'll see you on the next one.